Martin Logan's are what's called a dipole speaker. What it means is we get sound radiating off the front and radiating off the back, sort of a mirror image of each other signal. What this gives you is controlled dispersion laterally. What that means is better success getting good sound in a wider variety of acoustic environments. In a point source speaker, what you have are small drivers. They tend to radiate higher frequencies way off axis, so you end up with a widely varying range of frequencies that are going off laterally from the speaker. And in most normal living rooms, you'll have things very near that speaker, say a TV cabinet or walls. What happens then is you get some frequencies bouncing back into the sound and unfortunately can color the sound, turning a solo singer into almost an a cappella type of effect. With the dipole, since I've controlled the dispersion of sound into the room, I can minimize many of the effects from those reflections from coloring the sound, giving me more control over how good a sound I can get in more challenging environments. Since I do radiate sound out of the front and the back as a dipole speaker, one thing I do need to pay attention to is where the back wall reflection comes from. We like to see approximately 2 to 2.5 feet from the back of the panel to the wall behind it. That means I've got 5 feet of delay time between the back wave coming to the wall and then firing forward. Sound travels roughly 1 foot per millisecond. At about 5 milliseconds, our brains start turning this reflection into pleasant ambience as opposed to a near-field reflection that adds distortion. If I'm very close to the wall, I can also add tuning aids like bookcases, drapes, things of that nature to help break up and slow down that reflection. The next thing to look at is your sidewall reflection points. Since a dipole speaker has this controlled dispersion, the characteristic Martin Logan curved linear source, we have this 30-degree arc where sound is essentially defined as almost a pie slice of perfect sound. You'll know where sound's going to be bouncing off those reflections. A common trick is to use a mirror. You take your mirror, have a friend sit in your listening seat, and as you slide the mirror down the wall, once that friend sees the reflection of this nearest speaker, you'll need some acoustic treatment at that point. Such as this one, where we've taken a simple wooden frame with some fiberglass insert panels behind a cloth wall. Even simpler, you can use things like old comforters, old blankets to hang on those reflection points. Continue sliding the mirror down the wall until your friend sees a reflection of the far speaker. That'll be the second reflection point. Those two damped areas will make a great effect in terms of improving image focus and frequency smoothness. Since we're a dipole speaker, we're also what's called a line source speaker, meaning my sound radiates the entire length of the speaker. I have very little vertical dispersion, so things like reflections off your ceilings, I don't see very much of them, so I'm not too worried about treating my ceilings. Say if you have hardwood floors, carpets, things of that nature, that actually have very little impact on the performance of the panel in your room. Martin Logan tunes our speakers in a real-world acoustic environment. We do not recommend that you go to very extensive room dampening. You could literally suck the life out of your system, so watch your enthusiasm as you tune your room. The last thought, of course, is trust your ears. Hopefully these tips will help you get better sound out of your Martin Logan speakers.